Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Am I Successful Yet podcast. If this is your first time today, I encourage you to go back to the beginning of the 40 series because we are now on day 4. So, day 4 of the 40 series, which is 40 lessons from my 40 years in 40 days. So, today's lesson and today's thought is burnout is not a badge of honor. Being busy all the time doesn't make you successful. Myth busted, bitches. So, fucking burnout, right? Like, it's just the reason why you get burnt out. And the reason why I got burnt out was because I was living up to attempting, or no, I was not attempting. I was definitely living up to this version of what thought I was supposed to be successful. And that version of me worked 16 hours a day. Yes, I actually took a job so that I could work that amount. And then when I got my first management position, I kind of went back into that whole thinking as well. And I was literally working 90, 100 hours a week, 90, 200 hours a week. So, and this whole thing around like, oh yeah, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy and important. Like, honestly, get the fuck over yourself. Like, really. If you are too busy to see your family, if you are too busy to see your kids, if you are too busy to see your friends, if you are too busy to do things that you love, then I call bullshit on your success. You are not successful. You are fucking living the dream that was given to you, that was told to you that you think that you're supposed to do. Because that used to be the only option. So I call bullshit on success when someone is just so busy and important. Like, yes, you might be successful. And yes, don't get me wrong, you have to work your ass off to get to a point where you are living the definition of success that, you might want or you have or that you've created for yourself. But as long as you created it for yourself, you're not so busy and important. You're not getting burnt out. You're not feeling this I don't even know, this innate pressure to do the thing that you think you're supposed to do all the time because that is the thing that was told to you or what the definition of success was. And so burnout is bullshit. Burnout is just this alignment to someone else's values, this alignment to a business, to an organization, to a cause, to whatever, because you are putting value in that as opposed to putting value in yourself. So I call bullshit on burnout. And you've heard it here first, that maybe the burnout is not actually the institution's problem, not actually the industry problem. Maybe burnout is actually partly your fault because you are willing to continue operating in a system, in a version, in an industry, in a way that doesn't serve you. And while you're doing that, and you've got junior people doing that and watching you and doing the things, and we keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again, hoping for a different outcome, which just quietly is one of the first signs of insanity, apparently, according to, I don't know, some research that someone told me once. So if you are doing the same thing over and over again and you are hoping to not achieve, and you're hoping to get the same results, that someone else did, a little bit of a newsflash, the version of success that existed 20, 30, 40 years ago doesn't exist anymore. And so you get to write your own story. And that's why I call bullshit on burnout, because I think that you can create boundaries. And this is part of why I even started this podcast, is that I want to be able to put a red flag up around boundaries, around not knowing values, around having hard conversations, around knowing what your triggers are, what upsets you, what's going to set you off, living aligned to an organization or working in an organization that aligns to your values, your purpose, your things you love, the humans you love, the people that you stand up for, the people that you're here for, that your purpose. I want to normalize that. I don't want to normalize people I want to stop normalizing, and I want to bring awareness to the fact that you don't need to hit rock bottom to understand your values. You don't need to hit rock bottom to actually start living on purpose. Why, as humans, do we have this innate, ridiculous thing where we have to have these polarizing versions of our life where something fucking terrible happens and then we start showing up? No, just start showing up now. Because as soon as you start showing up, then you can start to create this version of you that you really want. And that version of you is not burnt out. That version of you is not burnt out. That version of you knows your goals. And look, I appreciate that if you are burnt out, I am sorry. I have been there and it's fucking shit. Because at the moment, it 100% feels like you cannot get out of this moment. You have to go to work because you are tied in, because the things that you've done to this point have led you to the position that you are now, and the decisions that you have made have put you in a position where you can't leave, or it feels like you can't leave. But what if you change that mindset? What if you flipped that on its head? What if you just started thinking a little bit differently? And this is not one of those situations where I'm like, oh, you're depressed and sad. Oh, well, just think happy thoughts and you'll be fine. No, this is going to be a fucking slow burn. This is going to take years. But I want to just be the person who can tell the people that are hitting rock bottom right at this moment, that are listening to this podcast because they saw burnout in the title, that are listening to this podcast because they're like, I don't know, am I successful yet? That are listening to this podcast because they don't know what the fuck they want to be when they grow up and they're 40 years old and kind of have been living this version of success that they think they're supposed to do and they don't even know what it is anymore. If that's you, then welcome. Hi. I hear you. I am you. I was you. But I am right now driving in my car, recording podcasts on my phone, safely, obviously, everybody. And I can only sit here and tell you these things because I have come out the other side of that experience. And the other side of that experience for me has been purchasing property in a location that I didn't even dream that I would ever live, renovating a house with my second husband because my starter husband didn't work out. And my second husband is just this dream of a human that I attracted because I was in different energy. And I know that if you're not woo-woo yet and you're a millennial or you're into your 40s or you're young and you like, woo-woo's dumb, that's just for like burnt out old people. No. Burnt out old people just have the lessons now. And by the way, I'm not a burnt out old people. I'm almost 40. That's why we're doing this countdown. But we are on day 4. Anyway, I digress. So what I want to just get hit home today is that burnout is bullshit. It's like one of those tall poppy syndrome or imposter syndrome, burnout syndrome. Like it happens and we feel it and we see it and we listen to it and we know that it's happening to us in certain situations where, you know, maybe we've got success and people are cutting us down because of that success. Or maybe we're trying to do a good job, or maybe we're trying to step into a role or a position or a like version of us that we're supposed to be, and we start losing friends and losing networks and that's just because other people are scared when other people are working, living in their power. And that's cool. I've lost relationships over the last 8 years while I've been building this version of me. Well, I've been building the version of me that can talk to you on a podcast and rant and 40 back-to-back episodes because I have a lot to say. And I don't care now that there's people out there being like, oh my God, what is she doing now? Haven't you already had like 10 businesses? No, I've had like 2 businesses. One was lingerie, Intimo, amazing. And the next one was a law firm, which was someone else's definition of success. So I'm calling like bullshit. I'm calling a stop to this. That's it. I'm done. I'm done with burnout. I'm done with tall poppy syndrome. I'm done with imposter syndrome. None of these things are fucking syndromes. None of these things are actual illnesses. They are thoughts in your brain that have caused you to think a certain thing, and now you can't get past it. And this is similar to the version of you that is living up to this definition of success that you think you need, and that is why you are burnt out. That is, you are burnt out because you don't have boundaries. You are burnt out because you can't say no. You are burnt out because you're prioritizing things that are not important to you. And I'm talking to me from 8 years ago. And the me from 8 years ago was required to go halfway across the world to Scotland and, you know, enroll in the European School of Summer Advanced Management or something like this at the University of Glasgow as part of my MBA. I had no business doing that. But the reality was I needed to do that. I needed to break. I needed to stop. I needed to put a flicking glitch in my matrix. Anyone under 40 is probably not going to get that reference, but that's cool. I needed to put a glitch in the matrix so that I would do something fucking differently and I would start believing something differently. It took me to do that to build a boundary. It took me to do that to stand up for myself. It took me to do that to be like, I'm going to now start to create this version of me. And here we are. And this is 8 years later. And I'm still creating the version of me or the person that I want to be, the version who I want to show up in the world, how I want to be. And I'm only tailoring it more and more every day. And my definition of success is changing every day. Just talk to my finance broker. My definition of success and the conversations that I had with him when he started with us about 12 months ago is a totally different version of the conversation that I'm having now. And that's because your perception, the depth of what you want and how you want it and what you want to show up in the world as is going to change. So this is an invitation to build a boundary. This is an invitation to take a micro step towards the version of success that you actually want. Because I call bullshit on burnout. I call bullshit on imposter syndrome. I call bullshit on tall poppy. I call bullshit on all of this because you're amazing. And if you're not being recognized in that way, or it doesn't feel like you're amazing because there's shit going down, then fucking stop. You have the freedom to choose. I think I've said that in every episode so far. You have the freedom to choose. So that is today's episode. That is today's lesson. Today's lesson is that you have the freedom. You're allowed to say no to burnout. You're allowed to do that. You can move away from that. You don't have to be that. You don't have to completely kill yourself to get to a place where you feel happy again. I want to normalize this. I want to normalize people thinking about this before they hit rock bottom, because rock bottom does not have to be your way out. So that's the episode for today. I mean, I feel like that one was a bit of a rant, but I think they've all been a little bit ranty. But that was day 4. Day 4 of 40 lessons from 40 years, because my 40 laps around the sun are going to have been completed in 36 more days. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Please have a conversation with someone that you think is maybe in this spiral of not being able to get out of the situation that they are in because they've created and made decisions to this point where it feels like there's no other options. I can guarantee you, if you can take a step back, and it doesn't have to be going to Scotland for 2 weeks and running halfway around the world. It might be that you just take a day off, take a mental health day. I know that there's going to be more work tomorrow when you go. I know that. I know that your emails are going to be piled up. I know that. It's fucking happened to me. But of the 100 emails that you received today, probably 70 of them don't actually require action, don't actually require you to do something. So I challenge you to, well, don't require action immediately anyway. They might require action at some point. So I challenge you to be your own circuit breaker. I challenge you to be like, okay, this is what it would look like if I hit rock bottom. I don't want to get there. So what can I change? What can be different? How can I listen to this message before I have hit rock bottom so that I don't have to be like all the other people that do? That is the episode for today, 40 years in 40 days. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. If you know someone that really just needs to hear this message, please share it with them. I'd love, love, love for this message to get out there a little bit more, because this is the whole reason why I'm doing what I do. I want brilliant but burnout professionals to know that they don't have to hit rock bottom before they can start living aligned. And I know that sounds super woo-woo and super like coachy and whatever, but I don't care anymore, because that's what I'm here to do. That's why I'm on the planet. So please share, please comment, please like, please subscribe if you want to keep on following along with the 40 series. Hit the subscribe button on whatever platform you're using, except Apple, because why is it so hard? And follow along. I'd love for you to tell me what you're getting out of this 40 series. I am loving recording it. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the next episode.